It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know, by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. We loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her highborn kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud that by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Excuse me, everyone. Luckily, the poem is over. Alan, how did you get down there?
I don't know, man. There's I haven't seen a pendulum, so I don't know if, like, the metaphor is complete.
No, the thing is, I've been talking to the Inquisition about getting a pendulum down there, but I don't know, the deliveries are like way out of whack, and I've been still waiting for it to come in. So I have the pit, and I put a big sign up that says Danger Pit. Did you fall down there, or did you just show up? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, you only put the sign on one side of the pit.
Oh, fuck.
And I was coming from the other way, and yeah, I rolled my ankle pretty bad.
I'm sorry. Hang on a sec. I'll get you a rope. I'll get you a pulley. I'll get, I don't know, a cantilever. I've got some stuff over here.
Ladder, where you go?
I'm sure I had... No, the Raven took the ladder. I don't know how the Raven took the ladder. There's a step ladder anyway, so... Okay, hold on.
You gotta stop letting that bird in.
I can't help it. It always perches. I mean, it was originally perched on the pallet bust of Palace above my door, but then you got stuck up there. And I think it got kind of fed up with all the gummy shack heads that were left up there. So it just, like, took off. Here's a rope. I know. I mean, I had them. They were a little stale, but they were good. Maybe every time I had one, it made me think of Kazam, and that makes me happy. Anyway. Yeah, all right. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Here, have a seat. I'm gonna get some ice for your ankle. Okay.
Ooh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'm so sorry. Look, I really wanted this to be a dramatic thing where I was gonna find someone to be our narrator for the Pit and the Pendulum and actually put them down there. And as we recorded the podcast, actually have a pendulum swinging slowly but surely further and further down to reach whoever this is. But we have to pick someone either completely willing to do it, that we really don't like, or that we really don't like, or both. Actually, preferably both.
We are not getting the deposit back on this Airbnb. Let me tell you that right now.
No, we're not. And I'm sorry about that. I'll take care of it.
You keep digging pits. You've bricked like 3 people into the wall.
They asked for the Amontillado. That's how the joke works. You ask for the Amontillado, you brick them up in a wall. It's understood. It's well understood.
You keep letting birds in here.
Well, the vultures ate my dead ass up, so what am I supposed to do? Welcome to Undercooked Analysis, everybody. We return to the land of Poe.
Welcome.
In October, no less. The perfect time to return to the land of Poe.
Welcome back to Poe Standards, everybody.
Yay! It's the podcast within a podcast detailing the latest and greatest in Poe Standards.
Yes.
In
what is possibly our final episode.
Oh, that makes me sad a little bit. We will have to talk about when we get to the end of this one what we think is the worst of the worst of the worst, or maybe the best of the worst. No, wait. Okay, hold on. I gotta keep borrowing from other people. Okay, yeah, they're gonna get mad at me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I just had to make a note on the skull in the corner. Anyway.
Okay.
The skull is one I borrowed from Dr. Satan, so it's on fire. Damn it! Another reference. Okay. Poe. Focus on Poe.
All right. And our story enters the chat.
Okay, hi, story.
It is, for those just joining us, I found a completely random tier list made by a rando of the short stories of Edgar Allan Poe ranked. And there were 5 stories in the F tier. They upgraded King Pest to D tier.
Oh yeah, that's nice of them. Because I still think Teen King Pest was one of the most fun ones to read. That's saying something. Although that was our first one.
So we have already read King Pest, The Imp of the Perverse, Silence, and The Man of the Crowd. And today we will be reading a hard word to say.
The assignation.
The assignation. The assignation. I think it's the assignation.
I'm going to assume assignation. And then at the end we'll describe. I still think of all the ones. I understand why King Pest got moved to D tier because I think King Pest is as insane as it was.
I still don't agree.
Yeah, we can disagree on that. Imp of the Perverse was at least pretty funny. Man of the Crowd was.
Yeah.
Well,
I honestly think I might have bumped up the Imp of the Perverse and kept King Pest where it is.
Yeah, I think I'll have to respectfully disagree there, but I will also at least agree that I think Imp of the Perverse is better than at bare minimum the other two.
Well, our friendship's over.
Okay, I gotta stop doing this. Okay, well,
how dare you?
Tell you what, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll you back
favorite
into that pit. Oh no, I'm kidding.
How dare you? Imp of the Perverse is my favorite story. No, can't even.
No,
can't even keep that going a little bit.
No, we're not. That's okay. Let's go ahead and read out the assignation, and we'll worry about ranking at the end of it. At the end of all things, as we do. All right. Would you like to start, Alan?
I will start.
Okay.
Stay for me there. I will not fail to meet thee in that hollow vale. Exequy on the death of his wife by Henry King, Bishop of Chichester.
Hey!
Oh, no.
It's real. Are they sure they don't mean Chichester? I don't know.
Yeah. Ill-fated and mysterious man, bewildered in the brilliancy of thine own imagination, and fallen in the flames of thine own youth. Again, in fancy, I behold thee. Once more thy form hath risen before me. Not, oh, not as thou art, in the cold valley in shadow, but as thou shouldst be, squandering away a life of magnificent meditation in that city of dim visions, thine own Venice, which is a star-beloved Elysium of the sea. And the wide windows of those Palladian palaces look down with a deep and bitter meaning upon the secrets of her silent waters. Yes, I repeat it, as thou shouldst be. There are surely other worlds than this, other thoughts than the thoughts of the multitude, other speculations than the speculations of the sophist. Who then shall call thy conduct into question? Who blame thee for thy visionary hours, or denounce those occupations as a wasting away of life, which were but the overflowings of thine everlasting energies?
Okay.
You ever read a paragraph text and your brain absorbs none of it?
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm listening to you and reading it, and I feel like, okay, give me a second. I know it's been a bit. The impression I'm getting is that Poe is positing multiverse theory. He's working on building his cinematic universe.
Yeah.
He's clearly been looking at Magic the Gathering and seeing how successful Universes Beyond is monetarily, I should mention, because honestly...
Oh, the EAPCU?
Yes. Almost epic. You could, people could do it as the Epic U, but no.
The EPQ.
The EPQ.
The EPQ.
EPQ. I mean, not a lot of super distinct Poe characters that could meet up in this magical universe, but okay. So he's Ill-fated and mysterious man. Okay, that is and fallen in the flames of. Oh, okay. So this is a memory, remembering how someone should be. In fancy, I behold thee. Okay, okay. In Venice. I say we keep going and see if it starts to come together for us in our brains, in our brain pans.
All right.
Okay. It was at Venice, beneath the covered archway, there called the Ponte di Sospiri, that I met for the third or fourth time the person of whom I speak. It is with a confused recollection that I bring to mind the circumstances of that meeting. Yet I remember, how should I forget, the deep midnight, the bridge of sighs, the beauty of woman, and the genius of romance that stalked up and down the narrow canal.
It was a night of unusual gloom. Was it, Poe? Was it?
The night was sultry.
You know, you're writing about many happy nights, Poe.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I could be mishearing this, but I said the night was sultry, and I'm pretty sure I heard a snort of laughter from my spouse in the other room.
Good. It was a night of unusual gloom. The great clock of the piazza had sounded the 5th hour of the Italian evening. The square of the Campanile lay silent and deserted, and the lights in the old ducal palace, Ducal Palace were dying fast away. I was returning home from the Piazzetta by way of the Grand Canal, but as my gondola arrived opposite the mouth of the Canal San Marco, I ate a bowl of fettuccine alfredo and pizza and Italy.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
You can't see it, but I'm doing the Italian hand right now.
Yeah.
Hey, gabagool.
But as my gondola arrived opposite the mouth of the Canal San Marco, a female voice from its recesses broke suddenly upon the night in one wild, hysterical, and long-continued shriek.
Gabagool!
Gabagool! Startled at the sound of gabagool,
Gabagool.
I sprang upon my feet, while the gondolier, letting slip his single oar, lost it in the pitchy darkness beyond a chance of recovery, and we were consequently left to the guidance of the current, which here sets from the greater into the smaller channel. Like some huge and sable-feathered condor, we were slowly drifting down towards the Bridge of Sighs.
Do you think they call it that because people lose their oars and just go and feel the current? They see the bridge coming and they just go.
When 1,000 flambeaux flashing from the windows and down the staircases of the Ducal Palace turned all at once that deep gloom into a livid and preternatural day.
Huh.
Okay.
This is cool imagery.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Just to be clear, because I've heard of this location, but I'm actually curious why it has the name. Oh, Lord Byron, that fucker, gave it the name, apparently. It's a translation of Ponte de Sospiri, for the suggestion that prisoners would sigh at as their final view of beautiful Venice through the windows before being taken down to their cells. Oh, because, convicts. Okay. I'd forgotten about that detail. Okay. Still, Lord Byron, he was a piece of shit. Anyway, as a child, slipping from the arms of its own mother, had fallen from an... not as a child. As a child, a child, slipping from the arms of its own mother, had fallen from an upper window of the lofty structure into the deep and dim canal. The quiet waters had closed placidly over their victim. And, although my own gondola was the only one in sight, many a stout swimmer, already in the stream, was seeking in vain upon the surface the treasure which was to be found, alas, only within the abyss. Upon the broad black marble flagstones at the entrance of the palace, and a few steps above the water, stood a figure which none who then saw can have ever since forgotten. It was the Marchesa Aphrodite, the adoration of all Venice, the gayest of the gay.
So gay.
So the flames, the queeniest flames, the most lovely where all was beautiful, but still the young wife of the old and intriguing Mentoni, and the mother of that fair child, her first and only one, who now, deep beneath the murky water, was thinking in bitterness of heart upon her sweet caresses and exhausting its little life in struggles to call upon her name. It's a really beautiful way to say this woman accidentally dropped her child in a river and now it's drowning. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great start, Poe.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Well, at least I'm hooked now. Are they going to save this kid?
She stood alone. Her small, bare, and silvery feet gleamed in the black mirror of We don't need to know about the statue. Poe, there's a child.
Is that not the... Oh, yeah, no, that's just the statue.
Her small, bare, and silvery feet gleamed in the black mirror of marble beneath her. Wait.
Unless this is the woman who...
Her hair, not as yet more than half loosened for the night from its ballroom array, clustered amid a shower of diamonds round and round her classical head, in curls like those of the young hyacinth. A snowy white and gauze-like drapery seemed to be nearly the sole covering to her delicate form. But the midsummer and midnight air was hot, sullen, and still, and no motion in the statue-like form itself stirred even the statue-like form?
So they're not, to be clear, Poe is not describing a statue. He's describing a statuesque woman. This Marchesa Aphrodite.
Stirred even the folds of that raiment of very vapor which hung around it as the heavy marble hangs around the Niobe. Yet, strange to say, her large, lustrous eyes were not turned downwards upon that grave wherein her brightest hope lay buried, but riveted in a widely different direction. The prison of the Old Republic is, I think, the stateliest building in all Venice. But how could that lady gaze so fixedly upon it when beneath her lay stifling her own child? Yon dark, gloomy niche, too, yawns right up opposite her chamber window. What, then, could there be in its shadows, in its architecture, in its ivy-wreathed and solemn cornices, that the Marchesa de Mentoni had not wondered at 1,000 times before? Nonsense! Who does not remember that, at such a time as this, the eye, like a shattered mirror, multiplies the images of its sorrow, and sees in innumerable far-off places the woe which is close at hand?
So why is this lady staring up at the windows of the old prison and not down at the water where she literally just dropped her child in? Yeah, something weird's going on here. Oh, here we go. Many steps above the Marchesa, and within the arch of the Watergate, stood, in full dress, the satyr-like figure of Mentoni himself. He was occasionally occupied in thrumming a guitar, and seemed ennuyé to the very death, as at intervals he gave directions for the recovery of his child. Stupefied and aghast, I had myself no power to move from the upright position I had assumed upon first hearing the shriek, and must have presented to the eye of the agitated group a spectral and ominous appearance, as with pale countenance and rigid limbs I floated down among them in that funereal gondola. Okay, I'm starting to get the sense of the title, Assignation. They're just assigned to the fact that their kid is dead, or at least they're assigned to the fact that their kid is already dead. That's my guess.
Now, people keep getting to this bit before me, and it's my bit. So I just wanted to say, real quick, that I used to play bass for Funereal Gondola.
It is your bit. I apologize.
It's fine.
But sometimes you've trained us well, Alan.
Yeah.
And every so often I can find a good one, like, ooh, sniped it, got it. Whoa.
It is me, isn't it?
It was a shorter paragraph.
All efforts proved in vain. Many of the most energetic in the search were relaxing their exertions and yielding to a gloomy sorrow. Okay, so yes, it's the assignation of like, oh, kid's dead.
Yeah, the river just ate a baby.
There seemed but little hope for the child. How much less than for the mother? But now, from the interior of that dark niche, which has been already mentioned as forming a part of the Old Republican prison. Hey, speaking of Old Republican prisons, I think that Donald Trump should be...
Is it really that bad to say that Donald Trump should be...
Give it a year, it'll be illegal. We're a year or two away from thought crime. Forming a part of the Old Republican prison, and as fronting the lace of the Marchesa, a figure muffled in a cloak stepped out within reach of the light, and, pausing a moment upon the verge of the giddy descent, plunged headlong into the canal. as in an instant afterwards he stood with the still living and breathing child within his grasp.
Whoa, a superhero!
Yeah. Upon the marble flagstones by the side of the Marchesa, his cloak, heavy with the drenching water, became unfastened, and falling in folds about his feet, discovered to the wonder-stricken spectators the graceful person of a very young man, with the sound of whose name the greater part of Europe was then ringing.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe that's not the assignation we thought. So she's like, there's someone standing up there that whole time, and the other guy's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep playing my guitar. And be like, well, I guess see if you can get him over here, so you can get him over here. And then this dude jumps in the water, and a split second later, he's out there. He's like, I got him.
Maybe it is, but
we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
I guess. No word spoke the deliverer, but the Marchesa. She will now receive her child. She will press it to her heart. Come on. And she will cling to its little form and smother it with caresses. Alas, another's arms have taken it from the strangers. Another's arms have taken it away and borne it afar off, unnoticed, into the palace. And the Marchesa, her beautiful lip, trembles. Tears are gathering in her eyes. Those eyes which, like Pliny's acanthus, I hope that's right, Pliny's acanthus, are soft and almost liquid. Yes, tears are gathering in those eyes. And see, the entire woman thrills throughout the soul, and the statue has started into life. The pallor of the marble countenance, the swelling of the marble bosom, the very purity of the marble feet, we behold suddenly flushed over with a tide of ungovernable crimson, and a slight shudder quivers about her delicate frame as a gentle air at Napoli above the rich silver lilies in the grass. The kid...
Are we implying that the Marchesa sees this young man rescue her child and is like,
damn.
Oh, hell yeah.
like his cloak did come out. A very young man was underneath it, and we don't know what's under the cloak. There's probably nothing other than his birthday suit. She's probably like,
Why should that lady blush? To this demand there is no answer, except that, having left, in the eager haste and terror of a mother's heart, the privacy of her own boudoir, she has neglected to enthrall her tiny feet in their... Poe, stop talking about her feet.
A ravishing, raven-haired audio expert with tiny, tiny feet.
Poe lovingly spends the next few paragraphs describing each toe.
Enthrall her tiny feet in their slippers, and utterly forgotten to throw over her Venetian shoulders that drapery which is their due. What other possible reason could there have been for her so blushing? For the glance of those wild, appealing eyes? For the unusual tumult of that throbbing bosom? For the convulsive pressure of that trembling hand? That hand which fell, as Mentoni turned into the palace, accidentally, upon the hand of the stranger. What reason could there have been for the singularly low tone of those unmeaning words which the lady uttered hurriedly in bidding him adieu? Thou hast conquered, she said, or the murmurs of the water deceived me. Thou hast conquered 1 hour after sunrise. We shall meet, so let it be. Oh!
You saved my kid. You want to fuck?
Yeah. Thanks for saving my baby. You want to save this pussy?
Do you like my tiny feet? The tumult had...
I'm sorry, those words coming out of your mouth. Do you like my tiny feet?
If our show were any bigger, I would be like, oh God, what have I unleashed upon the world? I have the opposite. I have Fred Flintstone feet. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what my folks always called my feet.
Mm-hmm.
They're not long; they're wide.
They're. I don't want to talk about feet anymore.
Yeah. Welcome to undercooked foot fetish.
Underfoot analysis.
Welcome to Underfoot Analysis. You all can come now.
The tumult had subsided. Not really. The lights had died away within the palace, and the stranger, whom I now recognized, stood alone upon the flags. He shook with inconceivable agitation, and his eyes glanced around in search of a gondola. I could not do no less than offer him the services of my own, and he accepted the civility. Having obtained an oar at the water gate, we proceeded together to his residence, while he rapidly recovered his self-possession and spoke of our former slight acquaintance in terms of great apparent cordiality. Oh, Our narrator knows this guy.
All right.
Okay.
There are some subjects upon which I take pleasure in being minute. The person of the stranger, let me call him by this title, who to all the world was still a stranger. The person of the stranger is one of these subjects. In height, he might have been below rather than above the medium size, although there were moments of intense passion when his frame actually... What? Sometimes he was bigger.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Although there were moments of intense passion when his frame actually expanded and belied the assertion. The light, almost slender symmetry of his figure promised more of that ready activity which he evinced at the Bridge of Sighs, than of that Herculean strength which he has been known to wield without an effort, upon occasions of more dangerous emergency.
He's a superhero.
With the mouth and chin of a deity, singular, wild, full, liquid eyes, whose shadows varied from pure hazel to intense and brilliant jet, and a profusion of curling black hair from which a forehead of unusual breadth a forehead of unusual breadth. Oh, so he's got a 5 head, huh? Gleamed forth at intervals, all light and ivory. His were features, then, which I have seen none more classically regular, except perhaps the marble ones of the Emperor Commodus. Yet his countenance...
Do you think he knows how to build an interocitor? That one's for just for Alan, and maybe the 5 or 6 people who listen to this that know Mystery Science Theater. Anyway,
I think we've referenced this island Earth multiple times on this show.
We absolutely have.
Yet his countenance was, nevertheless, one of those which all men have seen at some period of their lives, and have never afterwards seen again.
Huh?
One of those which all men have seen at some period of their lives, and have never afterwards seen again.
You see it once and only once.
Or is he saying, and then you die, and then you don't see any people anymore?
What? Okay.
It had no peculiar... It had... Poe!
It had no peculiar.
It had no peculiar. It had no settled predominant expression to be fastened upon the memory. A countenance seen and instantly forgotten. But forgotten with a vague and never-ceasing desire of recalling it to mind. Man?
What?
Poe. What the fuck are you talking about, my guy?
Edgar, can you help us out, my dude?
A guy with a forgetful face, but you want to remember his face, and then if you die, you don't remember faces. Poe.
I think our narrator just has face blindness for this one specific guy.
Doesn't have feet blindness, let me tell you. Not that the spirit of each rapid passion failed at any time to throw its own distinct image upon the mirror of that face, but that the mirror-like, retained no vestige of the passion when the passion had departed.
Oh, how badly do you want to kiss this man?
Yeah. I mean,
how badly does our narrator want to kiss this man?
I mean, his face is boring or whatever, but I remember it, or at least I try to remember it, but I don't. But he's really handsome, but he's plain, but he's not. But his lips, his very full lips, his full pouty kissable lips.
his inhumanly powerful hands. No, wait, that's Ascot Keen.
And tiny, tiny feet.
Turns out, they've never described Ascot's feet. What if he's got really tiny feet, just massive hands? Also, he's very long and is a bird person. So,
take
sure.
the next 2.
I'll do that. Upon leaving him on the next night of our adventure, it sure was, he solicited me, giggity, in what I thought an urgent manner, to call upon him very early the next morning. Shortly after sunrise, I found myself accordingly at his palazzo, one of those huge structures of gloomy yet fantastic pomp, which tower above the waters of the Grand Canal in the vicinity of the Rialto. I was shown up a broad, winding staircase of mosaics into an apartment, whose unparalleled splendor burst through the opening door with an actual glare, making me blind and dizzy with luxuriousness. So this dude's got a nice pad. I knew my acquaintance to be wealthy. Report had spoken of his possessions in terms which I had even ventured to call terms of ridiculous exaggeration. But as I gazed about me, I could not bring myself to believe that the wealth of any subject in Europe could have supplied the princely magnificence which burned and blazed around. Oh, dude's loaded, too.
I guess. Although, as I say, the sun had arisen, yet the room was still brilliantly lighted up. I judge from this circumstance as well as from an air of exhaustion in the countenance of my friend, that he had not retired to bed during the whole of the preceding night. Oh, ho, ho.
Ah.
In the architecture and embellishments of the chamber, the evident design had been to dazzle and astound. Little attention had been paid to the decora of what is technically called keeping, or to the properties of nationality. The eye wandered from object to object and rested upon none. Neither the grotesques of the Greek painters, nor the sculptures of the best Italian days, nor the huge carvings of untutored Egypt. Rich draperies in every part of the room trembled to the vibration of low, melancholy music, whose origin was not to be discovered. The senses were oppressed by mingled and conflicting perfumes, reeking up from strange, convolute censers, together with multitudinous flaring and flickering tongues of emerald and violet fire. The rays of the newly risen sun poured in upon the whole through windows. Upon the whole. Through windows formed... Poe.
Oh.
The rays of the newly risen sun poured in upon the whole, through windows, formed each of a single pane of crimson-tinted glass, lancing to and fro in 1,000 reflections from curtains which rolled from their cornices like cataracts of molten silver. The beams of natural glory mingled at length fitfully with the artificial light, and lay weltering in subdued masses upon a carpet of rich, liquid-looking cloth of chilly gold.
I've noticed liquid-looking has come up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this dude's got like an absolute like smorgasbord of weird, of just different stuff from all over the place. Dude's
weird fancy stuff from all over.
Yeah, I kind of dig it. Are you ready for the next? I got this one, right?
Go for it. Yeah.
Ha! 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 Laughed the proprietor.
Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha!
Turns out, I cannot. It's Mandark. It's Mandark the whole time.
Yeah.
Laughed the proprietor, motioning me to a seat as I entered the room and throwing himself back at full length upon an ottoman. I see, he said he, perceiving that I could not immediately reconcile myself to the bienséance of so singular a welcome. I see you are astounded. No, I see you are astonished at my apartment, at my statues, my pictures, my originality of conception, and architecture and upholstery. Absolutely drunk, eh, with my magnificence? But pardon me, my dear sir. Here his tone of voice dropped to the very spirit of cordiality. Pardon me for my uncharitable laughter. You appear so utterly astonished. Besides, some things are so completely ludicrous that a man must laugh or die. Die laughing must be the most glorious of all glorious deaths. Sir Thomas More, a very fine man was Sir Thomas More. Sir Thomas More died laughing, you remember. Also, in the absurdities of Revisius Textor, there is a long list of characters who came to the same magnificent end. Do you know, however, continued he musingly, that at Sparta, which is now Pagliacciori, at Sparta, I say, to the west of the citadel, among a chaos of scarcely visible ruins, is a kind of socul, upon which are still illegible the letters 7 equals 9. There are undoubtedly parts of plus 7 equals 9. Now, at Sparta were 1,000 temples and shrines to 1,000 different divinities. How exceedingly strange that the altar of laughter should have survived all the others. But in the present instances, he resumed, with a singular alteration of voice and manner, I have no right to be merry at your expense. You might well have been amazed. Europe cannot produce anything so fine as this, my little regal cabinet. My other apartments are by no means in the same order. Mere ultras of fashionable insipidity. There is better than fashion. This is better than fashion, is it not? Yet this has but to be seen to become the rage. That is, with those who could afford it at the cost of their entire patrimony. I have guarded, however, against any such profanation. With one exception, you are the only human being besides myself and my valet who has been admitted within the mysteries of these imperial precincts since they have been bedizened, as you see. So, sum it up, our man just met a cultist of Sheogorath.
Yeah,
This is all over the place. What the fuck?
it's weird.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Can you can you keep us, Poe? Can you keep it? Can you keep it going?
I bowed in acknowledgement for the overpowering sense of splendor and perfume and music, together with the unexpected eccentricity of his address and manner, prevented me from expressing, in words, my appreciation of what I might have construed into a compliment. Here, he resumed, arising and leaning on my arm as he sauntered around the apartment. Here are paintings from the Greeks to Cimabue, and from Cimabue to the present hour. Many are chosen, as you see, with little deference to the options of virtue. They are all, however, fitting tapestry for a chamber such as this. Here, too, are some hors d'oeuvres of the unknown great, and here unfinished designs by men celebrated in their day, whose very names the perspicacity of the academies has left to silence. And to me, what think you, said he, turning abruptly as he spoke, what think you of this Madonna della Pieta?
It is Guido's own, I said, with all the enthusiasm of my nature, for I had been poring intently over its surpassing loveliness. It is Guido's own. How could you have obtained it? She is undoubtedly in painting what the Venus is in sculpture. Ah, he said thoughtfully. The Venus, the beautiful Venus, the Venus of the Medici, she of the diminutive head and the gilded hair, part of the left arm. Here his voice dropped so as to be heard with difficulty. And all the right are restorations. And in the coquetry of that right arm lies, I think, the quintessence of all affectation. Give me the Casanova. Oh my god. Give me the Canova. The Apollo, too, is a copy. There can be no doubt of it. Blind fool that I am, who cannot behold the boasted inspiration of the Apollo. I cannot help, pity me, I cannot help referring the Antinous. Was it not Socrates who said that the statuary found his statue in the block of marble? Then Michelangelo was by no means original in his couplet. Non ha le tomo artista alcun concetto, c'è un mano solo in se non circonscriva. I think I did that okay.
Yeah. Hey, Poe, we're not Italian.
Yeah, nor are you, sir.
We're not Italian. You're not Italian. And
you're from Boston, dude.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I guess let's...
Translate time.
The excellent artist has no concept that a marble alone does not circumscribe.
Okay. So, the idea that some of the people who make statues, I've heard this before, like, oh, I'm not making this out of a block of marble, I'm digging a statue out of the block of marble.
Right.
The marble tells me what to carve.
It has been, or should be remarked, that in the manner of the true gentleman we are always aware of a difference from the bearing of the vulgar, without being at once precisely able to determine in what such difference consists. Allowing the remark to have applied in its full force to the outward demeanor of my acquaintance, I felt it, on that eventful morning, still more fully applicable to his moral temperament and character. Nor can I better define that peculiarity of spirit, which seemed to have placed him so essentially apart from all other human beings, than by calling it a habit of intense and continual thought, pervading even his most trivial actions, intruding upon his moments of dalliance, and interweaving itself with his very flashes of merriment, like adders which writhe from out the eyes of the grinning masks in the cornices around the temple of Persepolis.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what he just said.
Yep.
Okay. So, dude's eccentric. Okay, we get that, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. I could not, however, repeatedly observing, through the mingled tone of his levity and solemnity, with which he rapidly descanted upon matters of little importance, a certain air of trepidation, a degree of nervous unction in action and in speech, an unquiet excitability of manner which appeared to me at all times unaccountable, and upon some occasions even filled me with alarm. Frequently, too, pausing in the middle of a sentence whose commencement he had apparently forgotten. He seemed to be listening in the deepest attention, as if either in momentary expectation of a visitor, or to sounds which must have had existence in his imagination alone. Okay, so, yeah. Dude is very eccentric.
Yeah. It was during one of these reveries or pauses of apparent abstraction that, in turning over a page of the poet and scholar Politian's beautiful tragedy, the Orfeo, the first native Italian tragedy, which lay near me upon an ottoman, I discovered a passage underlined in pencil. It was a passage toward the end of the third act, a passage of the most heart-stirring excitement, a passage which, although tainted with impurity, no man shall read without a thrill of novel emotion, no woman without a sigh. The whole page was blotted with fresh tears, and upon the opposite interleaf were the following English lines, written in a hand so very different from the peculiar characters of my acquaintance that I had some difficulty in recognizing it as his own.
Okay. So is this like his fan fiction, or is this him translating? Oh, this is him translating it, I think, right? Oh, also,
maybe.
Also, are we gonna? You and I gotta figure out if we read this, are we going to feel a thrill of novel emotion?
I guess we might just fuck right here and now.
Okay. I mean, I've been waiting.
Finally.
Let me see if this sets it up. Thou wast that all to me, love, for which my soul did pine. A green isle in the sea, love, a fountain and a shrine. All wreathed with fairy fruits and flowers, all the flowers were mine. Ah, dream too bright to last! Ah, starry hope, thou did arrive. I can't even do it right! Fuck!
I'm completely flaccid, David.
Yeah. Poe's failed me. Ah, starry hope, that didst arise, but to be overcast. A voice from the future cries, onward! But o'er the past, dim gulf, my spirit hovering lies, mute, motionless, aghast. For alas, alas, with me, the light of life is o'er. No more, no more, no more. Such language holds the solemn sea to the sands upon the shore. Shall bloom the thunder-blasted tree, or the stricken eagle soar. Now all my hours are trances, and all my nightly dreams are where the dark eye glances, and where my footstep gleams. In what ethereal stances, by what Italian streams, alas, for that accursed time, they bore thee o'er the pillow, from love to tilted age and crime, and an unholy pillow, from me and from our misty clime, where weeps the silver willow. What the fuck?
That these lines were written in English, a language with which I had not believed their author acquainted, afforded me little matter for surprise. I was too well aware of the extent of his acquirements, and of the singular pleasure he took in concealing them from observation, to be astonished at any similar discovery. But the place of date, I must confess, occasioned me no little amazement. It had been originally written in London, and afterwards carefully overscored, not, however, so effectually as to conceal the word from a scrutinizing eye. I say, this occasioned me no little amazement, for I well remember that in a former conversation with a friend, I particularly inquired if he had at any time met in London the Marchesa de Mentoni, who for some years previous to her marriage had resided in that city, when his answer, if I mistake not, gave me to understand that he had never visited the metropolis of Great Britain. I might as, without of course giving credit to a report involving so many improbabilities, was that the person of whom I speak was not only by birth but in education an Englishman.
An Englishman posing as an Italian?
So I think, okay. See if you're following me on this.
Okay, yeah.
This guy got this poem in England, but said, I've never been to England.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so either he and the Marchesa met up in England and boned down previously, or because the Marchesa has been to England, this poem is a gift from the Marchesa.
Oh, well, it is covered with tears, so yeah. I mean, it seemed like they knew each other. Maybe that was part of it. He jumped in the river to save, and then he took the child and ran off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely something between them. This is previous to her marriage, too.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I'll do this bit coming up here. There is one painting, said he, without being aware of my notice of the tragedy. There is still one painting which you have not seen. And throwing aside a drapery, he discovered a full-length portrait of the Marchesa Aphrodite. Oh, there she is.
Oh.
Human art could have done no more in the delineation of her superhuman beauty. The same ethereal figure which stood before me the preceding night upon the steps of the ducal palace stood before me once again, but in the expression of the countenance which was beaming all over with smiles, there still lurked incomprehensible anomaly, that fitful stain of melancholy which will ever be found inseparable from the perfection of the beauty. Her right arm lay folded over her bosom. With her left she pointed downward to a curiously fashioned vase. One small, fairy foot, alone visible, barely touched the earth, and scarcely discernible in the brilliant atmosphere from which the encircle and enshrine her loveliness, floated a pair of the most delicately imagined wings. My glance fell from the painting to the figure of my friend, and the vigorous words of Chapman's "Bussy d'Amboy" quivered distinctively upon my lips. He is up, there like a Roman statue. He will stand till death hath made him marble. Till death hath made him marble. Oh yeah, so he's still pining for the Marchesa.
Yeah. Come, he said at length.
I've been waiting all day.
Turning towards the table of richly enameled and massive silver. You know how we're children?
Yeah, I understand how we were children.
Yeah, just wanted to... He just said come.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all he said.
We are, and I know we have to blame the generations who were prior to us, because we are only children because they continue to infantilize us well into our 30s, because they're like, fuck you, you can't do anything, you are children.
Isn't it crazy that all the Beatles circle jerked apparently, and that they also wrote a song called Come Together? Anyway.
Good for them.
Come, he said at length, turning towards the table of richly enameled and massive silver, upon which were a few goblets fantastically stained, together with two large Etruscan vases, fashioned in the same extraordinary model as that in the foreground of the portrait, and filled with what I suppose to be Johannisberger. Come, he said, abruptly, let us drink. It is early, but let us drink. It is indeed early.
Coming early, I see.
Musingly as a cherub with a heavy golden hammer made the apartment ring with the first hour after sunrise. There we go. It is indeed early, but what matters it? Let us drink. Let us pour out an offering to yon solemn sun, which these gaudy lamps and censers are so eager to subdue. Let us pour one out for our homies. And having made me pledge him in a bumper, he swallowed in rapid succession several goblets of the wine. Dude's
just sad, man.
Yeah.
To dream, he continued, resuming the tone of his desultory conversation as he held up to the rich light a censer, one of the magnificent vases. To dream has been the business of my life. I have therefore framed for myself, as you see, a bower of dreams. In the heart of Venice, could I have erected a better? You behold around you, it is true, a medley of architectural embellishments. The chastity of Ionia is offered by antediluvian devices, and the sphinxes of Egypt are outstretched upon carpets of gold. Yet the effect is incongruous to the timid alone. Properties of place, and especially of time, are the bugbears which terrify mankind from the contemplation of the magnificent. Their CR2 enemies. Once I was myself a decorist, but the sublimation of folly has palled upon my soul. All this is now the fitter for my purpose. Like these arabesque censers, my spirit is writhing in fire, and the delirium of this scene is fashioning me for the wilder versions of that land of real dreams, whether I am now rapidly departing. He here paused abruptly, bent his head to his bosom, and seemed to listen to a sound which I could not hear. At length, erecting his frame, he looked upwards and ejaculated the lines of the Bishop of Chichester. Stay for me there. I will not fail to meet thee in that hollow vale.
Is he killing himself?
I think he is.
In the next instant, confessing the power of the wine, he threw himself at full length upon an ottoman. A quick step was now heard upon the staircase, and a loud knock at the door rapidly succeeded. I was hastening to anticipate a second disturbance when a page of Mentoni's household burst into the room, and faltered out, in a voice choking with emotion, the incoherent words, my mistress, poisoned, poisoned. Oh, beautiful Aphrodite.
Oh, shit.
Suicide pact, or?
Maybe. Actually, maybe yes. Like, damn, okay. Bewildered, I flew to the ottoman and endeavored to arouse the sleeper in a sense of the startling intelligence, but his limbs were rigid, his lips were livid, his lately beaming eyes was riveted in death. I staggered back towards the table. My hand fell upon a cracked and blackened goblet, and a consciousness of the entire and terrible truth flashed suddenly over my soul. Yeah, they had talked about meeting. They clearly want to be together, but they can't, so they're suicide pact. Okay. Wow.
This was...
They're assigned to... The assignation is that they cannot be together for whatever reason, for probably because of the marriage or whatever, so they're assigned to let themselves die, so they could... Yeah, keywords, tragic love.
Okay. Yeah, this was fine.
Yeah, this was fine. I don't think this is an F tier story.
I'd put this as a C.
Yeah, I'll give this a C. This is not... I mean, it took us a little bit to wrap our heads around it, but yeah, I will. Yeah, I think this is a good one to cap off Poe Standards on. Yeah.
This, I'd say a solid C.
Yeah, a good kind of good twist ending, actually, but hinted at well earlier in the story, and kind of foreshadowed with, like, I remember him how he should have been, how he should be. Yeah. Okay,
so here's my rankings. I've already got them. I'd put this at the top.
Okay.
I'd put Imp of the Perverse right under that. I'd put King Pest right under that.
Okay.
Then probably Man of the Crowd next, and then Silence at the bottom.
You know what? Yeah, I would keep a very similar list, but I'll stick to my guns, and I would switch Emperor the Perverse and King Pest, just because of my own personal enjoyment of King Pest compared to Emperor the Perverse. That's just me. Everything else makes sense, though. I would say this is the best of the most cohesive.
The best of the worst.
The best of the worst. All right, we did it. We red letter media'd Edgar Allan Poe. We keep doing this to dead authors in the public domain. Yeah. It's almost like we should do a new podcast about the public domain.
Wait, Rich Evans is dead?
Ah!
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.